What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today is a very special day. I finally built up my brand new Ibis Ripmo V2, so it is new bike day. I couldn't be more pumped. I've been waiting to build this thing up for a while now. I've been really taking my time with this one because I really wanted this to be my dream build. I wanted to do the parts and I had a vision for it. I know a lot of people out there probably think that I might be colorblind or I just randomly pick different colors, including the marketing manager at Ibis. I think she thinks my color choice is crazy, but I don't know. I just always like my bikes to stand out. I like to be different, and I feel like this bike came out perfectly. Couldn't be more pumped. I would actually say this has probably been one of my favorite builds I've ever done, so excited to share it with you guys. So we figured we would do a little bike check right now. Anything I talk about in this video, we will put links to in the description of this video, as well as discounts too. There are certain things that we can give you guys, little coupon codes like Club Ride or Pit Viper, or a really awesome fanny pack that we've been testing out. So always be sure to check out the description of this video. The cool thing with those links as well is they are affiliate links, so any purchases made after clicking on those links does help support the channel at no additional cost to you guys. Also, if you guys are ever in the market for an Ibis mountain bike or gravel bike, they also have the Haka, consider hitting up our buddy Sean at N+1 Bikes. He's an awesome supporter of the channel, and he also takes care of friends of the channel. So if you are in the market for a new bike, the customer service there is top notch. Here is his number, and I think he actually does have some carbon Ripmo V2s in an XL. We were talking about that, kind of the timing of everything. So now let's get into the video. All right, so right off the back, like I said, this is the carbon Ibis Ripmo V2. I went with a size extra large frame. I always run XLs in the mountain bikes. I run a 58 in the Haka, but I feel like XL is appropriate for me. I like my bikes to be a little bit more on the stable side. I would say I probably could go down to a large if I ran a little bit longer of a stem. However, I really do like the XL. I have a really high saddle height. I think it's 81 centimeters. And so yeah, I feel like the XL feels appropriate for me. I like the reach on there. For the suspension, I went with the DVO Onyx fork up front, set up at 160. DVO is a strong supporter of the channel, and I went with the Onyx. I was debating between going this and the Diamond. The Diamond is a little bit of a lighter fork comparison to this, a little bit more of a trail fork. This is more of like the enduro all mountain style fork, very beefy. I debated going back and forth between them. I ended up sticking with the Onyx because I wanted a very stout, robust front end. The Diamond is plenty stiff. However, I just wanted this thing to be a little on the beefier side. Yeah, this is probably going to be my enduro all mountain rig. Hence, I finally got myself an enduro all mountain helmet. So yeah, I have it set up at 160. I didn't over beef it or anything. I feel like the head angle on this bike is perfect, and I really do like that 160 mil up front. In the rear, I am running the DVO Topaz. Really do like the Topaz. A lot of people are asking if I was going to go with the Jade X on this bike, the coil shock by DVO, and I ended up sticking with the Topaz just because I like the pop that an air shock provides. Just feels a little bit more lively in the rear end, and then you combine that with that stiff fork. Kind of the best of both worlds. And yeah, Ibis bikes are a little bit more on the poppy side. This shock I feel like helps a ton. Now moving on to the cockpit. Now I really do like all the color choices on here. So all throughout the bike, you guys will see a lot of oil slick titanium bolts. We actually hit up a company called Better Bolts. They make aftermarket titanium bolts, and he also has oil slick options. To be completely honest with you guys, in terms of a performance gain, I'm sure there's probably something there, but for me personally, I just think that the look of the oil slick titanium bolts looks awesome. He's got bolt kits for a lot of bikes out there, as well as rotor bolts and seat binders and stem bolts. So yeah, consider checking his website out. But yeah, so for the cockpit, I think it looks really awesome. I ended up sticking with One-Up Components carbon handlebars. I run them at the 20 mil rise. I really do enjoy these bars. I have tried out other carbon bars out there. I like that these have a little bit of flex built into them. It is noticeable in my experience testing when I stray away from the One-Up Component bars. I do end up missing these bars, and I really like the rise and how these things feel. I run my bars at 800 millimeters, and I feel like that is the sweet spot for me. For the stem, I'm running Industry 9's A35 stem. It's an anodized stem, and I run it at 50 millimeter lengthwise. Now, the cool thing with the Industry 9 stem is you can change the colors of the base and the faceplate. I probably will end up changing changing either the faceplate or the base to pink. Let me know what you guys think I should do, and I am running those better bolts, titanium oil slick bolts in there as well. Now for grips, we're running P&W Loam grips. P&W Components is a strong supporter of the channel as well, and these grips are awesome. I don't run gloves, so it's important for me to have a good grip that works well, especially if my hands get a little bit sweaty. And I feel like the traction, is it considered traction, or the grip? That's kind of a, maybe that's why grips are called grips. But basically, these things work really well gloveless. I never feel like my hand is slipping. They're also affordably priced, so if you do tend to go through grips a ton, whether you're crashing a ton or you're putting your bike down, it really is easy to replace these things. The other cool thing too is that they got this new Desert Dune tan color. I feel like this color is very popular right now, not just in the mountain bike world, but like with trucks and sprinters. And yeah, I really do like the color choice on this. Now to complement my grips, I am also running the P&W Loam lever. Even before P&W Components started supporting the channel, I've always said this is probably one of the most comfortable dropper post levers on the market. And the cool thing too is even if you aren't running a P&W dropper post, you can still use this lever. So it is a good aftermarket option. Now connected to this lever is the brand new P&W Loam dropper post. So this dropper post is an updated one. The cool thing is they do have these little color bands right now, so you can fine tune the color choices there if you're trying to go for a certain aesthetic looks or match your grips. The other cool thing about this dropper post is they did make the overall dropper post a tad shorter overall. So if fitting a dropper post into your frame was ever an issue sizing wise, that will help as well. It's also internally adjustable, I believe up to 20 millimeters. And yeah, I run mine at 200 millimeters. So you guys can see right there. Yeah, so 200 millimeters. I really do enjoy like the big drops on there. So now for the saddle that's connected to that dropper, this is the more awkward conversation starter. I'm actually running the Specialized Mimic Power Pro saddle, and this is a woman's saddle. So like I said, always an interesting conversation starter. I don't know what was going on at Specialized's development team, but I really do feel like someone got confused, because this saddle is the most comfortable saddle I've ever ridden. Literally, I run it on all my bikes now, and yeah, huge advocate of the Specialized Mimic women's saddle. Now, moving on to stopping power, this is the one part of my bike that I'm not entirely sure. Well, I would say maybe the one of two parts of my bike that I might be swapping out soon. So these brakes are the SRAM Code RSCs. Normally, I always run Shimano XT4 piston, but due to supply issues this year, I've been having trouble sourcing them, like finding them at like different bike shops. So I thought it might be time to try something else. So the first option was the SRAM Code RSCs. Pros on these so far, a lot of stopping power. I'm actually blown away about how much stopping power these things have. And they also got these cool oil slick bolts in the model that I got. Now I am missing the kind of instant power from the Shimano XTs that I had. So it's been interesting getting used to these all day yesterday. I'm sure as I get more time on them, I'll get more adjusted. So stay tuned for a longer term review. I think we're gonna do a brake video at some point as well. But yeah, I am curious what type of brakes you guys are running out there or what I should be looking into. But SRAM Code RSCs on here. I'm running a 203 Shimano Ice Tech rotor up front with a 180 in the rear, and I do have the oil slick titanium rotor bolts. Now for the drivetrain, cue the dentist comments. I am running SRAM XX1 AXS drivetrain. Now I'm a firm believer in the AXS. I tried the electronic shifting earlier last year and was really pumped on it throughout the year. Absolutely no issues in terms of a durability or reliability perspective. The battery lasts a long time in there, and the shifting is so precise and consistent from day one till 6 months, a year down the line. I'm running a 52 cassette this time, so they did bump up the cassette size. Yeah, I'm definitely going to appreciate having just a little bit more of a bailout gear, because coming from my Ripley, this bike does weigh just a tad more. I have it built a little bit more robust, so it is nice to have a little bit more of a climbing gear on there, and the oil slick just looks so awesome on there as well. For pedals, I strayed away from my normal choice of the Deity T-Max. I went with the Deity, I think these are either the Blade Runners, or I'm not sure what the exact name, I'll put it right here. But yeah, I wanted to try something new. After riding yesterday, I'm gonna give it a couple more weeks in terms of testing, but I am missing my T-Max. I really do appreciate the traction on the T-Max. Now moving on to the wheels. This is probably one of the more shiny parts of the bikes. So I went with a custom build on here. I went with Ibis's Carbon 35S rims on here. I've been a huge fan of those rims, absolutely no issues in the 2 years, I think it is now, that we've been running them. And yeah, durability wise is insane. I like the profile, very easy to set up tires tubeless on here. And I have them laced to Industry 9 Hydra hubs in the pink. The Hydra hubs have been awesome for us as well. A lot of engagement points on there. The colors are really awesome. And I use these silver spokes. I don't know the exact name of the silver spokes, but I don't know, I just thought kind of going a little bit different on here. I like how the silver turned out. Now mounted to these wheels for tires, I'm actually running tan walls front and rear, obviously. I'm a huge fan of the tan walls. Up front, I'm running a 2.6 Minion DHF. I really do like the Minion DHF. It's always been a tried and true classic for me. So if I'm not running the Recon, I'll run the DHF. For the rear, this is the only part, I guess, kind of in addition to the brakes, where I'm not sure just yet. I have a Minion DHR in the rear in a 2.4. Yesterday's ride was interesting. I couldn't figure out if I was just kind of getting used to the bike from the rear end or if it was the tire. I'm not entirely sold on the DHR just yet. I will give it a few more weeks to kind of see what my impressions are. I was running the Recon before, and I've run DHFs in the rear in the past. For whatever reason, I just wanted to try something new. And yeah, like I said, stay tuned for a longer term impression / review on those as well. Now for the water bottle cage, I'm gonna bring this up. I mean, besides that really awesome water bottle, that's our buddy's bike shop. They made these cool Van Halen tribute water bottles, but I love the OK Bro and the color's awesome there. But in terms of the bottle cage, it's this Lezyne side loader. These things are only $10 MSRP. I've never lost a bottle out of these cages, and they're side loaders. You can get them right or left. So yeah, very pumped on these as well. And yeah, overall, very stoked on this build. Really excited to ride this bike over the next few weeks, and also stoked on the community we're building on here as well. So be sure to be subscribed to the channel to keep up with all of our adventures. We have some really awesome adventures being planned right now, and we're so excited to share them with you guys. So thank you for joining the journey. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the bike. Let us know in the comments what you guys think, and until next time, you guys, ride awesome. Ew.